Hi everyone. In this video, we'll see few examples of friend function in C++ compiler. So we have taken the online compiler itself. In my previous video, I have explained about the concept of friend function. So in this video, we'll see some examples of friend function as well as friend class. So the first example is how to make a function as friend within a class. So we are just going to write a program to add two numbers, but we are having one class. So we are just having one class in this program, and we have a function that is a friend function. Okay, so just we'll write a class here. Can open an online compiler and writing class A private. So class has two elements. We all know that private variables as well as public member functions. So in this I am declaring two variables, int n1 equal to 100, and here itself I have initialized, and n2 equal to 200. Then public colon. So in this we are just adding one function which is a friend function. So friend function should be declared by using the friend keyword before the function. So a function has a return type. Here the return type is void, and just add is the function name, and just see this argument part I'll discuss later. Already we have seen the syntax of using friend function, so you may be familiar with the syntax. So again I'll repeat. So this friend function is declared here, and we are going to define the friend function outside void add a is the class name space obj is the object of the class. So this is the syntax for adding the friend function, and here we define it cout. We add here itself. So we are just adding obj dot n1 plus obj dot n2, just adding the two numbers endl. Next, coming to the main function int main. So here first step is for the class A, we are just creating an object, say obj. Then add of obj. Add of obj. So that's all. So we'll compile the program. And this program is adding the two numbers, that is n1 equal to 100 and n2 equal to 200, and it is giving the output as 300. So in this program it is you have a friend function. So it's in a class. We are just concentrating on one class. In a class we have a function which is friend function. So what is friend function means? It can access the private data members of the class. So the function have full access to the private data members of the class. So here in this program the class is class A, and the private variables are n1 equal to 100 and n2 equal to 200. So in the this function, that is the void add, this add function is a friend function. So it has full access to the data variables n1 equal to 100 and n2 equal to 200. That's the logic, simple logic. So we are just defining it outside. When we define also, so normally coming back to the main function, here first we create an object, and there is also a difference between normal function and friend function when we call the function. When we call a normal member function, we call using the dot operator through the object. For example, here obj is the object, means if this function is a normal function, we call using obj dot add. But here we are passing the object through the function. So add of obj, that means we are passing the object through the function. This also I have clearly explained during the friend function video. In the friend function videos you can refer that also. So that is the two difference. So one thing is friend function means it can access all the private variables of the class, and the other one is we have to pass the object as argument through the friend function, and not through the we have to call by passing the object through the argument, and not by accessing through object using dot operator. Okay, so in this function, so it's very simple. So see, in the add function, friend function also, it is accessing the data variables, and the other thing is we are passing the object through it. So in the coming back, so A is the class name, obj is the function object name. So we are just calling the function add by passing the object through the argument. And when we call this, it automatically comes back to the friend function in this step, and this step it is just declared, so it goes to the defined part. So here the two variables are added. Since the function is a friend function, it adds two variables. If suppose if I am removing this friend keyword, in that case what happens? So it will get error, because a normal function cannot access the private variables. So in n1 is private within this context. So you are getting the error command as n1 is private within this context. So that means a normal member function cannot access the private variables of the object. And also we have to call the function only through the object. If this is a normal function, we have to call only by like this, obj dot add. So we have to call only by this, and even if we call like this in this program, we'll get error, because this is a friend function. We have passed the object, the class is argument, and also we have access to the private data variables inside. So hope you got the concept of the friend function within a class here. So we'll see another example. So one more example to see the working of the friend function. Similar example. So in this, I'm just creating the class name as friend1. Friend1. So under the private variables, so just we are giving one variable, that is I have declared the one variable as m, and public the same. So under public, first one, we are just declaring we can declare a constructor. So for constructor is the same constructor. How will you define the constructor? Constructor has the same name as the class name. It does not have any return type. So whenever we create an object, the compiler directly comes back to the constructor and it invokes the constructor itself. Okay. So here it is having the same name as class name, and it is mainly used for initialization. So it just goes like this. We just initialize the data variable to be equal to 0. So we are initializing it to be equal to 0, and then this is the constructor. Okay, constructed over. And the second function is a friend function. Friend, here the return type we are just giving it as int, because we are just here also we are going to add some value to this declared data type. Here we have declared a data type m. We are just going to add some value to this number. That is the concept or logic what we are going to do in this program using friend function. So first function is a constructor. The second is a friend function. Please don't confuse friend1 with friend. Here friend1 is the class name which I used, and friend is the keyword to make the function to be a friend function. So inside, so you have to write class name is friend1 space obj, or you can declare any other variable. Here I have for convenience we can declare the object as f. So coming back, we have to define this function. We can define the function here also. Yeah, we can define the function friend function here itself. So I am defining it here just to show that the friend function can be defined inside also. The previous example we have defined the friend function outside the class. So now we are defining it inside the class. So f.m, friend function means it can access the data variable. So f.m plus equal to 10. That means we are adding 10 to the variable m. So since it's a friend function, it can access the variable. So if it is a normal function, we can't do this. So return f.m. Since the return type we have given it as integer here, the return type is integer, it returns some f.m value. Okay, so the function is over. Next we can close the class. So here is no need of this function, just cancel it. So the coming back to the main function, for the class name is friend1, instead of a, we can change that to friend1, friend1 So I'm just giving and passing this object, creating an object obj. Now you know that how to call this friend function. I want to call the add function here. So how to call the friend function? Friend function should not be called like this. So it should not be called by the dot operator. It should be passed as the object should be passed as argument to the function. So add of obj. Add of obj. If you want to display this, you can give cout command. So it displays this. Display this. So now if we compile this program, so we'll get the output as, so we'll get the output, it is 10 is added, so we'll get the value 10 because it is initialized. So what happens here? So when we just write this program and when we compile it, so we just call it as friend one of obj. So we have created an object here. So when we create an object, the compiler directly invokes the constructor. So the compiler directly goes here and it initializes the value of m equal to 0. Okay, to initialize the value of m equal to 0. Now we are calling the friend function by passing the object through the as argument. We should not call using dot operator. We should pass only like this. So when we pass this, so it comes to the friend function and it adds 10. So if we remove the friend keyword, what happens here? Again we'll get the error command stating that the m1 should not be add was not declared in this scope. Okay, that's fine. And this m should not be, it cannot access the variable. Okay, because it is private, it cannot access the variable. So I'll get the command like this. Otherwise, if we just do like this, yeah, in this case you will get output. But how we are getting this output means we are not calling the friend function. Now this function just is a normal function. It's not a friend function and it is not doing any manipulations. So it directly goes to the compiler and it takes the output. So I'll not get any output here, but it compiles. So can change it. Okay, this is the concept of friend function. So we'll see the example programs of friend class in my next video. Thank you.